life, I'm a lot like you were. Oh man, look at my life, I'm a lot like you were.
Presented by Scott Credit Union, your St. Louis
BlueNote Fan Report. Aloha and mahalo, and welcome to Game 3 pregame. Let me bring in the man, the myth, and the legend. It's Lance the Scott from the Drop. Hey, Lance, how you doing, buddy?
Not too bad. How are you tonight?
Not too bad. You feeling a little better there, buddy?
Not really.
But you're still willing to talk some hockey, huh?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I want to clear something up really quick. The last time you were on the show, you and me had somewhat of an argument, and I'm doing the air quotes. And you felt bad about it from what you sent me, and there's no reason to, right? There was nothing wrong with your opinion. There was nothing wrong with my opinion, and there was nothing wrong with how we discussed it. Heated is fine. It's debate, right? You're passionate about what you said, so I want you to know that there's nothing. I had no problem with that at all. You know, you weren't going to see my point, and I was never going to see yours. So.
Yeah, I just probably shouldn't have been so vocal about it. I mean, I didn't have to scream so much. A person can still get their point across without screaming. You know, it wasn't the fact that we had a discussion. I just thought maybe I got a little too loud for my own taste. So
not in the least bit. Hey, Ian, are you able to join us today? I think I forgot to send you the link. I did send you the link. The link's in there. You should be able to get this. Let's argue about this game will be as easy as Arizona. That I don't think, though. Nothing wrong with being passionate, Dan. I absolutely agree with you. Matt Lowe says Wild won a game and Ian shows up. Shocker. He was here the night they beat the shit out of us. But you know what? I just looked at something, right? I've heard Mike Dante's Inferno, and I've heard other people. They're so much better than us 5-on-5. Okay. Yeah, maybe. However, do you know how many 5-on-5 goals the Wild have scored? Right? I'll ask Ian, how many 5-on-5 goals have the Wild scored in this series?
I'm not sure. You guys can't hear the TV, can you?
Yeah, we can.
You want a bit more?
It's not loud. It's not.
Now it's down.
No, I don't want to get banned off because if YouTube sees that we're streaming any of the game, they'll strike you down. So.
Yeah. Well, I can have audio. I can't show video.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, Boston just scored, so they're up. 3-1.
Yeah, I watched that. That was Pasternak, I think.
Yeah. That was on the power play. Yeah, I have it on. So here's this: the Minnesota Wild have scored exactly 3 5-on-5 goals.
Mm-hmm.
How many 5-on-5 goals have the Blues scored?
I think you've scored 4, 3 or 4.
3.
3. Okay.
3. We have 3, and we have 3 power play goals. You have, and actually that's kind of a misnomer a bit. You're getting credit for scoring a goal 5-on-4, which it shouldn't be. It should be a 4-on-4 goal, right? That's the one where they pulled the goaltender with 7 minutes left, right? That should have been counted as 4-on-4, but it's the way that the NHL does it. It kind of didn't make sense.
Hey, we'll take it. All right.
So the way they have the goals broke down, they give you a goal for 4-on-5, which kind of makes no sense to me because that wasn't a shorthanded goal. It was actually a 4-on-4 goal. It's just the goalie pulled, so it didn't change, right? But 6-on-5, whatever. Oh wow!
See the glass fell.
Oh wow! It hit him in the head.
Oh my goodness.
That stuff's heavy.
Poor feller. Oh, there's
Oh
stretchers
wow!
coming out.
Yeah, I mean
Oh,
they're
man.
bringing They're bringing the stretcher
Hope it's
out for
not
this guy.
serious.
That's not.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
not funny. Yeah, I thought it was funny.
Wow,
for the
that's
players.
scary, man.
No,
That
it's not
stuff's
funny
not.
at all.
That stuff's not light. That stuff weighs. I'd say weighs 100 and a half per sheet.
Ooh.
You. Oh, I heard your radio there. I thought maybe you got a call. What is the capacity of the Minnesota arena? So I can get an estimate how many people left game one. What is the capacity of the arena?
18,000.
So just about the same as ours.
Yeah.
It's possible, Mike. It really is. It's what's going to come down to tonight. Minnesota's got to be feeling good about themselves. The Blues have some serious injuries, and it's who's going to step up, right?
And that's what I was gonna say, Guy. I mean, how are you guys feeling? Being, I know Scandella is still a game time decision, so you might see Scandella play, but how are you feeling about being out 3 of your top 6?
Not good at all, to be honest. There was a post, I talked about it a little bit yesterday. Some guy in one of the groups said, "Oh, we should play 5 defensemen and use one of our add a forward and use him as a defenseman." And the reason why he said this is because most of the players in college play other positions, which again, I don't want, because me and him got into it over it, and I don't want someone to get upset about it. First of all, I could only come up with 3 Blues players, minus Santini, who just got called up, that played college hockey. That's the only 3. I could only come up with 3. I could be wrong, but the only 3 I could come up with was Joshua, who played for Ohio State, Parayko, who played for Anchorage. I think he played for Anchorage. Actually, he might have even just played for a minor league team up there. And then Falk, who played for Minnesota Duluth. That's the only 3. And usually by the time, Lance, you played hockey, by the time they're in their teens, their position's set. Very rarely do positions get switched once they get into juniors or college. Am I correct?
Yeah, you're mostly correct. From time to time, you'll find something similar like what the Blues did with Thomas. They wanted him in the lineup, but they were strong at center, so they put him at a wing position.
That's not going from. You see guys play center and wing all the time. That's not going from center to defenseman. Or wing from defenseman.
I've seen people do it, but I've never personally seen it to be a huge success because there's such a difference between being a defenseman in the league and a winger. Even in college, there's a huge difference.
Well, I'll tell you what. This is as a Wild fan, I think that this is a big. If we don't come in here and take a game at this point in the series, the way your defense is, that's a big missed opportunity. I mean, I guess for all we know, maybe Santini steps in here and he's a top 4 right away. You never know, really. I mean, it could go either way. But though, unless your forwards step in and they start back checking, then I think this is a big of an opportunity for the Wild to steal a game at St. Louis as they're going to get.
Yeah, and the thing about Santini is he's been in the league several years, played for New Jersey, and we all know about New Jersey's defensive woes over the last 4 or 5 years. If he was really good enough to be in the NHL full time, he would have. I think the most he's played in one season is 38 or 39 games. It's just not good for the Blues. I heard today on the radio some guys saying that, Santini's going to step in and he can be a top 6 defenseman. No, he's not a top 6 defenseman. He's a fringe NHL player, but like Guy said, he's going to have to step in and play like an NHL player, whether it's the fourth guy, the fourth pairing or third pairing or whatever. He's got to step it up, and he can't make mistakes. As long as he takes care of what he's supposed to take care of, I don't care if he doesn't score. I don't care if he gets an assist. Just be a stay-at-home defenseman that does what you're supposed to do, and that's it.
Yeah, I'm kind of watching. I kind of got my head on this Boston thing here. This is going to affect our game. Our game comes on after this.
Yep.
So puck drop is 45, and I don't know where TNT will put the game on.
Because
this game's going to run late now.
Yeah, I don't know about you guys. I'm the Fire Hall I'm at. They have a cable, so I watch it on Bally. Usually, I watch it on a certain website that I want.
Well, I'm not in St. Louis. I can watch it on Bally, but it will affect the start time of the game.
Yeah, I know.
Right, and I have people that watch me that are not in the St. Louis area either, so that's why I bring that up.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
No,
he's
this
okay.
tonight's game. I'll tell you what. Tonight's game, the first period is going to be extremely, extremely important. Right? The first Pasternak came over to the guy and gave him a little tap on the foot. That's bad, and that's one of the reasons I don't like. I'll bang on the glass, but not really hard. I'll just tap it to make noise. But that's why you can't bang on that glass.
Well, that was, you saw the power play goal, and then everybody shot up, and then I mean they wheeled out the pane of glass. You saw it was like a angle like this, and then it was cracked, and like it just got broken. They were pretty excited, those folks.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it looked like
but now they've got to bring in a new sheet of glass, and that's going to take a little bit of time. Oh, they're taking somebody out of the arena.
Well, I didn't see any blood coming from the back of the guy's head. It looked like he had a C collar on him. So I mean, that's
they had the collar on him. Are they going to play the game without the glass? They are. Well, I guess because it's out of the way. Right, I guess where that glass is, it's not along the arena; it's back of the penalty box.
Yeah.
So, Lance reminds me of Berube. He just hates young players. Well, Santini's not a young player.
He's 27 years old.
Yeah, Santini's not a young player anymore.
Yeah, but you're such a hater, Lance. Come on.
Yeah,
Matt Lil says Dakota Joshua will make a difference tonight. Look.
Bring some energy, probably some young energy. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think he makes a difference. I don't think he scores a goal. I don't think he's going to do that.
He's a solid player, solid young guy. Yeah. He's going to have a good NHL career, but he's just one of those guys that's a good guy. He's not great. He's not a difference maker, but he'll be okay. He'll be a good player.
I agree with Tommy on this. The young guns, Husso, Kyrou, and Thomas need to step up tonight. Well, I mean, Kyrou has a goal. Thomas has like two or three assists. Tarasenko has a goal, and
I don't know, Guy, where this. I saw all kinds of bashing after the first game of Kyrou, and then the second game, people are bashing him, and I don't get it. I just don't understand it. He's one of your top scorers.
If you score a goal, you have to score a goal every game. If you don't score a goal, you're junk. They only look at the surface. They don't look at what's underneath the game and the other things that are part of the game. And this is what I mean. I guess I should start calling this my show the undercurrent hockey show, because it's so important to what goes on. Now, I just took Smith out, number 7. I don't know what that is. I mean, I'm listening to you guys, so I can't see everything.
And we've got people wanting Bennington to start, and that's just crazy. And everybody thinks I hate Husso, but Husso needs to start this game. Yeah. You don't want to go to Bennington now. And, Husso, when he does have a bad game, he's very good in the next game.
Well, here's the thing. First of all, yes, I felt Bennington should have came in after the first in game 2. Absolutely felt that, and I still feel that. However, I do agree Husso's been good after losses for the most part. But he's got to be on a short leash tonight. He cannot give up 2 in the first, and he can't give up 2 on 2 straight shots. If he does that, he's got to get pulled.
According to my guy, unless they go up 4-0, Husso's not being replaced because Berube has said and told people within the Blues organization he doesn't know what kind of a mixed message he'll be sending if he yanks Husso and then starts Husso in the next game and not Bennington. So
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You know what? Those guys are professionals. Husso's a professional. Bennington's a professional.
It shouldn't. It shouldn't matter.
It shouldn't. And this is right. If you lose today, you have to go with Benner. Have to. I agree. Right? You can't go down to. First of all, I don't like going down 2-0 to him or 2-1 to him in our building. And now here's the thing that's important is all these series are following patterns, right? 6 of the 8 series have followed the same pattern. The home team pardon me, 4 of them. The home team won, or the away team won the first game. The home team won the second. We're now seeing where an away team is winning the third in Toronto, and we now have a home team winning the third in Boston. Winning game 3 in Boston. So, the patterns, and they matter. I'm sorry, they matter. Right? Something about everyone fans need someone to blame everything on for everything on the ice. Yeah, they do. And that's what it seems like. I'm not going to go against that.
Well,
I just think, go ahead, Ian.
Yeah, well, you could. This is probably pretty quick, but what I'm most interested in is I'm really interested in what Berube decides to do for the matchups tonight, because I know we've been sticking the Eck line or the Grief line with Robert Thomas's line 5-on-5, and that's done a pretty good so far. I mean, I think do they have 2 even strength goals or just 1? I think it's just 1, but I believe that the one that happened, there was they caught them in the middle of a change, so I believe Kaprizov and Hartman were on the ice, and then Greenway or something like that. So
to be honest, I don't care who they put up against them. To be honest,
that's the thing, because I mean, like it or not, Eriksson is our best shutdown centerman, and he's just one of those players, where he just has that thing,
He's a guy that you've got to shut out tonight. O'Reilly out against Kaprizov. I could see that.
Yeah, I could see that too.
I could see that.
These are 2 teams that have 4 lines that can run it with the best of them. And this is just one of those. This is really going to be a really good series. I'm so
should be.
I love this.
No, well, that's the thing. The Blues do have 4 lines that they can run out there against anybody, right? I would have no problem putting our 4th line out against your top line. I wouldn't. I think that they're strong on the puck. I think that they get in and they win battles in the corners, right? And they do their job, and they get the puck out and they get it in deep and then allow for a line change.
Well, is Barbashev on that line, or is it I think
Barbashev's on the third line.
Third line. So it's Bozak. I'm trying to get
Bozak, Walker, and Torpachenko, but Joshua will be in for Walker tonight.
Gotcha.
But it's the same thing. I don't mind putting that out. I really don't mind putting that line out there. So if Bennington plays in game 4 after you lose in game 3, you'll just blame Berube for playing Husso at all. No, I won't. But
hey, here's the thing. If they go down 2-1 and Husso plays a good game, you don't start Bennington, because if he plays good enough to win, and let's say Minnesota wins 2-1, or let's just say that Husso should start the next game.
I agree with that.
It's now, if Husso, let's say the team plays crappy in front of him, because not all those goals the other night were his fault. There were several that were
but one. One goal was not his fault. I put every other goal on him.
Yeah, and
I put every other goal on him.
I put 3 on him, and I put 2 not on him. Is the way
he gave up 5.
Yeah,
I put 4 on him. Now I might be a little hard.
I can understand that, but people got
Ian
said 6, but one of them doesn't count.
Yeah.
People got to understand something. Just because a goalie loses doesn't mean he played bad. If Husso loses, and he's played very well, I mean, heck, he could have 52 shots against him, and if he loses 3-2, he's played a good game. So unless he lays a rotten egg, you don't even think about putting Bennington in. If he lays a rotten egg, then you've got to at least consider it. And like I told you, Guy, and I told Ashley, and I think I told Ian this too, when Berube picked who he was going to start, and I announced it the night before that he was going to be starting Husso, he can't win. If he starts Husso and the Blues lose, then everybody's going to blame him.
He's in a no-win situation.
He's in a no-win situation, and I feel for the guy because, people are going to be shocked I said that, but coaches make these tough decisions, and, it's possible he could have started Bennington, and Bennington could have flopped. He could have started Bennington, and Bennington could be up 2-0, but I doubt it with the way the Blues played in parts of the second game. But, guys, just because a goalie loses doesn't mean he's going to be replaced.
It's all going to depend on how he loses.
Yeah,
and that's what's going to be important. It is going to depend on how he loses, if he loses, how he loses, if he loses. That's going to be important. A 2-1 win where he stops 36 or 37 shot, or pardon me,
36 of 38.
35 of 37 shots.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm not pulling him. Okay. Well, Matt Lowe, you're right. The series is 1-1, but we are coming in. We are down at a bare minimum 2, if not 3, of our top 6 defensemen,
Mhm.
and that's going to be that's something to there.
Is Scandella out on the ice in the pregame yet? Have anybody noticed? Because I was told he's a game time decision.
Yeah, that's what I heard too. But and then, like I said before, it's up to your forwards to get back as well. Because I mean, on the first period tonight. What do I think about the first period? First period, it's gonna. I mean, obviously, first period sets the tone for the game. I think one of two things happen. I think either the Wild are able to weather a storm from the Blues, right, and it comes out 0-0, or maybe you guys get 1 or 2. I think that's the best case scenario, because I know the Blues are you're gonna get that push from the Blues because they're at home crowd. That always happens, just like it's just. And the important thing is that when the Blues are pushing like that, we have the Wild so far this series haven't shown that they can defend without taking those silly penalties, right?
Yeah.
So usually when the Blues are in the zone like that, you take a couple of penalties, and we have yet to hold you guys off hold a power play off the score sheet. So it's always comes down to special teams at the end of the day.
Yeah. And Ian, I've been hearing a lot of Minnesota fans. They're shocked that they started Fleury in games 1 and 2. They thought Talbot would start, and I don't understand that, because Fleury's he had his 91st victory, I believe, or 92nd victory in the second game. He's a proven commodity. Yeah, Talbot's a veteran too, and Talbot did play well this season. But you've got to go with Fleury until he really flubs up, because that first loss, that wasn't his fault.
And I think the only way we could see Talbot come in is if Fleury just gets absolutely blown out. I'm talking like 6-1, 7-1, or if we go down 3-1, even if he's played all right, I think that maybe they'd switch over to Talbot if they go down 3-1 in the series. Because, I mean, he's that veteran. He's been there before. He's won 3 cups. Everybody knows that. And Talbot, to Talbot's credit, he's played great, especially since the trade deadline, since we even acquired Fleury. I don't think he hasn't lost in regulation since March something. I think it's March 15th or 21st or something of that sort. He's like 8-0-2. Both of those overtime losses, I believe, or one of them at least, is to the Blues, unfortunately. But I mean, yeah, it was a tough
2
decision.
overtime losses to the Blues.
But I'm sure their mindset was that Fleury's been there before, and you gotta, there's also part of this. You gotta show faith in your goaltending. I think that's partially why they're putting Husso in here as well. They're showing, hey, you know what? I know you had a bad game last game. It's fine. Just go out there and have a good game this game. That's part of a management tactic, I think.
Yeah. Okay, well, I want to get to some of these comments here real quick. Tammy says, I really like Walker, but I'm happy that Joshua's in. I like Walker too, but he was getting pushed down around like a rag doll. His size was against him. He was getting pushed around. Joshua's a bigger kid, bigger body. Hopefully he can push back and not get pushed around like Walker was. But I really do like Walker's game, and I'm glad that we've got him for another year. He's saying, why not play Fleury? That's actually. So this one is, I want to see more from Torpashenko, and he needs to get some shots as well as his hits. Well, he's played an average 7 minutes, 50 seconds. So that's right at 16 minutes in 2 games. He has 2 shots and 7 hits. I can see what you're saying. I would like to see more shots, but he's not, as a fourth line guy, you're not going to get a chance to take a lot of shots, right? You're really not. So the fact that he's gotten 2 shots in 7.5 minutes, I'll take that. And let me make sure that that's total time on ice, not split time on ice. Is that right? Let me double look at that. Oh no, that's per game. So that's split. So that's 14, almost 16 minutes, 15 minutes and 40 seconds, right? Something around there. Yeah, 15 minutes, 40 seconds. I had to do some quick math there. So that is what it is. on that one. If Santini plays, I'm expecting Scandella in Game 4. I hope so. They were saying on the NHL Network that he could have been told when they was working the deal with him that he would start the playoffs.
Who?
And I guess he's talking about Fleury.
Yeah, probably talking about Fleury. I mean, I suppose that could be it. I mean,
I don't think so, to be
I
honest
think,
with you.
I think they'll give Talbot at least a start at some point because they
Fleury's a playoff king. Well, I mean, he's done. Okay, I'm not going to go there. I think that people.
He has 2 passive cups, I would argue, because he was kind of the number 2 goalie in 16 and then also in 17, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, I could.
Yeah, see, Matt Lowe kind of backs my thing up. He says he's not really. He's technically got 3 Stanley Cups, but he played for 1. Right.
That Lidstrom save, though. Come on.
Yeah. They will win after what happened in Game 2, and they need to stay out of the penalty box. Well, the Blues did stay out of the penalty box. They only had 3 penalties.
Yeah.
They gave up 2 power play goals. That was the issue. Right? One of the best shorthanded teams gave up 2 power play goals. That was the issue. If you limit that, it changes the game, right?
Well,
they did stay out of the box. It was the Minnesota that couldn't stay out of the box. And I don't think they will.
Yeah, I don't. And I want to add on to your point, Guy. That's 100% the point. My thing is that the issue is that the Blues have they've done such a good job when they hem the Wild in the zone. They just do this thing where they're cycling it around. They get their cycle game going, and they're making the Wild take stupid penalties. Now, I will say that what the Wild did a lot better of last night, and why they did a little bit better on the power play, you could say, is that they got greasy. They went to the areas in the net where you're going to score. Game 1, they were taking shots from perimeter. They weren't going to the middle of the ice and taking shots. They were passing around too much. I think that's why we did a lot better in Game 2. And I'm really interested to see what kind of changes the Blues do in Game 3 here. It's going to be a really good game.
Husso's got to stop flip-flopping around. Right? That's thing 1. He's got to stop flip-flopping around, and he's got to control rebounds. You cannot put a shot, rebound, right back to the guy that shot it in the center of the ice. That's what happened on the first power play goal. Bam. Well, okay, so it was 3 2. They count. I guess they said 2 shots, but it was 3. Now that I think about it, because it was a rebound. But he gets a shot. It comes back and it goes right back in the net. I mean, you cannot let that rebound like that, right? Ryan Green says, what if Torp's role doesn't align with scoring? It doesn't. It's not. It's the fourth line. I mean, they can get a goal here and there, but you're not expecting them to get a goal. Costin hasn't really showed anything, kind of like Brown. Well, Costin's not even up. He's down there, and Brown is in that. Brown is in that. I'm a young kid. And Berube is, well, if a young kid makes a mistake, I'm going to make him sit out and not play. That's his fault.
That's Costin. That's Costin, too. Costin's only 21 years old, 22.
Yeah. Well, Costin, for me, is, to me, I think it's time to cut bait with him. Right?
He hasn't been given enough chance, Guy.
I disagree. Every time he's up here, he ends up in the penalty box, or he ends, he makes some. To me, Costin is becoming Sanford.
Guy, he's only played in 46 games. They let Sanford play several seasons before they gave up on him. I mean, 46 games in a career, that's not a career. And he played 40 this year. Was it great? No, but every time he made a mistake, Berube pulled him. And we remember, Guy, I know you do, he did the same thing with Kyrou. He did the same thing with Thomas. And, when Barbashev first came up, we've got Yo or Hitchcock doing the same thing with him. Yeah. That they made a mistake, and then they don't give him another opportunity. They don't let these guys learn. I'm not ready to give up on Costin because of his skill of what I've seen him play and the fact he's a big guy and he's only 23 years old. I mean, he just turned 23. You want to give him 2 or 3 more years and give up on him and let him play a full season? That's fine. I just don't like it when teams give up on guys. that have only played less than about half a season. And I mean, I understand.
Look at Tage Thompson. When we gave up on Tage Thompson, right? The thing with Tage Thompson was he was never going to get the time he needed to develop with St. Louis. He was never going to crack that lineup the way he did in Buffalo.
No, and Les Berube gives Costin time. He ain't either.
Well, you look at Thompson. Thompson is the number one center in Buffalo. I don't even think Thompson's a top 5 here in St. Louis. Maybe.
I think he could be.
He's a top
maybe
3
4.
center.
Maybe 4. Maybe he's better than Bozak because of age.
He's a lot better than Bozak.
But that's about it.
Yeah.
He's not better than Shin. He's not better than O'Reilly. He's not better than Thomas. Right? And there's a couple other guys that I could put in at center there.
Who had the most points? Thomas or Tage Thompson?
Well, actually, I think Thomas did.
I think Tage Thompson did. I know he had more goals. Then you got to look at the roster. Thomas is playing with a lot better players than Tage Thompson is. A lot better players.
Thompson is becoming a really nice player over there in Buffalo. I don't know if he's
he would have never developed in St. Louis. That's the point I'm trying to make.
The point I was just make is that I 100% agree. I don't think he's the same player if he stays here in St. Louis. So
right. Matt Lowe was referring to my question, which I hope you answer. What question, Tommy? Let me get to your question that I'm missing. What do you all think we stopped playing? Why do you all think we stopped playing Costin? Do you think he could have developed to be a playoff performer by season's ends? I guess we kind of talked about that. My biggest issue with Costin has always been penalties. He didn't take a lot this year, but at the same time, it changed his game, and it might have changed it enough that that's why he got sent back down. I will say this: I'm surprised he never got called back up. I'll say that. I mean, oh man, you guys are nailing me with questions here.
Thomas had 10 more points than
10 more points
than Thompson. So they're pretty close. The only difference is Tage Thompson's terrible defensively, just terrible. Thomas is a plus 17, and Tage Thompson. Thomas and Thompson are confusing me. Tage Thompson is a plus 17. So there's a 34 goal difference in plus minus between the two.
Thompson's plus, what was Thomas's plus minus?
Thomas is a plus 17 and Thompson is a minus 17. So there's a 34 goal difference. But still,
again, that's who they played with. That's the team they play for,
That's got a lot to do with it.
I think I saw a question about Michael Dante. He said if that goal didn't go on that snap stick, I think the game was a lot different. And I 100% agree with this because a reporter there or a media guy who I watch on a different channel who went to the Wild game. They were Minnesota Wild to cover Minnesota sports. He just talked about how there was that nervousness where St. Louis was controlling the play. I think the shots were 5-1 that entire time. And then once that first goal went in, you just kind of you felt everything lift up, and everybody got into it. And that was so. I think he's completely right. I think if that goal doesn't go in, I think maybe St. Louis could have gotten the first goal there, and that's a different game. That's a really good point there, Michael.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree with that. And not only that, it's not just that first goal, it's that power play goal off the rebound, right? That game going 2-0 within the first, 10 minutes, had everything to do with the Wild win in that game. I mean, the Blues don't score until it's 3-1, 3-0. When they finally get a goal, they are 4-0.
Yeah,
and made it 3-1. They trade goals in the second. That doesn't help. I mean, you get a power play goal, great, but it doesn't feel like it helps. So, oh wow. So here we go. Costa needs more experience out there. I'll agree with that. I'm flipping a quarter. Heads Blues, tails win. Tails Wild. You three pick a side. Oh my goodness. It was good for Costin to gain experience trying to win a Calder Cup for the T-Birds for playoff experience. That might help.
But you know what? He played in Russia in the AHL.
Yeah, in Russia you won a cup.
Yeah, and he was great in Russia. That's why all these people that tell me, well, the KHL is just as good as the NHL. No, it's not. That's why all the players that can't play anymore in the NHL go to Yeah, that scarf is freaking me out there, dude.
I 100% guarantee I could be the number one center in Buffalo with 20 goals. I got a wicked wrist shot. No,
Yeah.
this scarf I couldn't bring. I'm not gonna bring my jersey over to the ambulance.
I wouldn't.
So I had to bring something to rep the Wild here.
Okay. Well, I was going to say that your wrist shot is only good in the bedroom.
Oh,
Low blow.
yeah, low indeed.
That's a sailor joke.
Yeah.
That's a sailor joke, right?
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
something. That's something that as a sailor, it's like instant. You throw something like that to me, and I won't even think twice about it. So you got to give me credit. That was a pretty good one, though. Ian's like, I don't even want to say anything. He might nail me again.
I'll just quit. I'm logging off. Just kidding.
Ian, you know we love you, buddy. You know we absolutely love you. So the Blues game is going to start late. I don't know how late it's going to be. I'm going to try and shift now to Bally Sports and see what they've got going up.
Probably at least 10 minutes later, right?
Say again?
Probably at least 10 minutes later, maybe a little bit more than that. You say?
Well, normally, all the games, all the second games have been starting, at 7:45 or 15 minutes later than puck drop time.
Yeah.
Up to this point. However, with that issue in Boston, that game is going to run later now. They're not even in the third period yet.
No, I should be able to catch it at my end. I should still be able to watch it, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Hopefully
No, I have someone gave me allowed me to use their Bally here in St. Louis, but then I run into this where I have to go and reset it all the time. Yeah. And then depending on one TV I use, it starts delaying. The sound gets ahead of the video. So that makes it hard to watch too. Bally
Sports is a nut job. It's just it's a shit storm. It's so annoying how I was able to watch these games during the pandemic shortened season on Hulu Live, right? I was able to do that. Then they had a deal where all Minnesota sports had to go through Bally Sports instead, and the only two channels that had cable services that have that are Charter and Dish. So you couldn't get any of the Wild game, any Minnesota sports anywhere else unless you bought cable, and I just was not going to do that.
Yeah,
annoying.
Yeah, no, it happens, and this actually all of this stuff that they do with the rights and all that. It really, I think the NHL needs to take it over, right? Just like the NFL has. I think the NHL needs to take it over and get it out of local TV rights and get it on, one system where everyone has access to it, right? Bally gets everything, or my biggest problem. I'll tell you what. Last season, or up until this season, one of my biggest issues is when NBC ran it. They only highlighted NBC Sports Network channels, right? Like the teams that majority got on were the Sharks, the Philadelphia, Chicago, teams that were MSNBC affiliates, right? Those were the teams that got on more than anybody else. And especially there was one All-Star game. I remember it because I remember bitching about it. Unless you were an NBC affiliate, you only got one player to the game. Every NBC affiliate got two or more, right? And this is when I think it might have been the three. I don't think it was the 3-on-3 yet. But it was still, the majority of it went to those affiliates. And it was obvious. I mean, it was obvious right off the bat. Because that year, Chicago had 3 players on the team. And I'm going, no, there's other guys here, right?
And it's moments like that where you get reminded that, it's a sport, right? But it's also a business, where people, it's the people got to make their money,
Yeah, they did fix the volume, but see, now I'm running into commercial issues. So now instead of getting the commercials, I get a commercial break in progress and all this stuff. So I don't even know if it's absolutely running correct or not, to be honest with you. The coin landed on heads. No shit. Well, I hope so, Dale. I hope so. At Minnesota Wild fan, I'm not saying the Blues win the game if that stick snap doesn't happen. but the complexion certainly isn't different. And yeah, I think that's what we all agreed with, right?
That was the turning point in the game. That and the when the Blues were pushing, and then that turnover by Perron that led to the 2-on-1 by Kaprizov and Zuccarello. Those were the two that really.
Well, then the Tereshchenko giving up the puck right in front of the net didn't help, but at the same time, as bad as it was that Tereshchenko gave that puck up, Husso could have stopped that. He made that so easy by going down into the splits before the puck ever was with there.
Well, during that when it was 4-2, the Blues were pushing. I mean, and they kind of had to. You're down 2 goals in the third, but they were pushing real. They had all the zone time. They're about an inch or two away from making it 3-4. You felt like if they spent any more time, they might get a power play goal, and all of a sudden it's 4-3. You know, but when over happened, I think the entire building let out a sigh of relief, and then it was all.
How many times did they hit the post towards the end of that third period? The Blues, at least twice, if not 3 times.
The rare Tarasenko post. We love to see it.
Yeah.
Yes, that is a good sign. Him
It
being
is,
on.
yeah.
Well, at least that not with him on the ice, that keeps it questionable, right? If he's not on the ice, he's out. He's got to be on the ice to at least be questionable. So what's going to happen is he's going to get out there and skate. He's going to come off, and they're going to look at him, and they're going to see how much he winces when they touch wherever he's hurting, or they're going to watch him while he's out there skating and see how he looks.
Is it upper or lower body?
Lower body.
Lower body. Okay.
I think it's a lower body. I honestly don't remember. I think it's a lower body. I'm not sure. My biggest issue is for me tonight. The Blues have to contain the Wild very, very quickly, right? They need to take the Wild out of the game like they did in Game 1. They took the Wild out of the game very quickly, and the Wild were never in that game until late in the third. And then when the Blues went into prevent defense, the Wild still couldn't score. Bortuzzo is out. I have a feeling, and I don't know this, but I have a feeling Bortuzzo's out for the playoffs.
It looked like his jaw.
He's out for the playoffs.
He broke his jaw. I mean, you saw where that puck hit like right. It hit like right here. It could have been like his upper or lower. I mean,
I actually think it was closer to his ear, but
I
think
it was like up here.
Yeah, I think he has a fractured skull. To be honest with you,
you could have fractured an orbit or something like that.
Yeah, I was told that even if the Blues make it to the Cup, he's not going to be starting because of the severity of the injury. So and now Letty is still questionable. If the Blues go farther, he could make it. In fact, he could come back if this is a long series. From what I was told.
Well, I was told that he could be questionable for Game 4.
Yeah.
Right. I'm guessing Letty got cross-checked to the back, so I'm guessing he's got a pulled muscle or something on his back. And sometimes you'll go to bed one night, it'll hurt like hell. You go to bed, you wake up the next morning, and it's fine. So that's where that is.
Well, and Letty is a big part of he's such a mobile defenseman that you really notice him when he's like one of those where you just notice that he's gone. It's like when Rudin was out.
Let me get with the Blues lineups real quick. O'Reilly is sending Perron and Saad. Thomas, Tereshchenko. God, man, they always do it too quick for me. Okay, oh well, so much on that. But the fourth line was Bozak with Torpachenko and Joshua. So I think we know the rest. I think so as well. Joey Vitale said he had a softball-sized knot on the side of his head. Oh, that's a broken bone. Can we function without Bortuzzo? Yes, we have in the past.
Yes.
All right, we have in the past.
He's
a great penalty killer.
Yeah.
And that's something that does. Now, this is where the oh man, why am I going blank? Okay. The guy we traded for Letty.
Sundqvist.
This is where the Sundqvist trade hurts. This is where that Sundqvist trade hurts. All right. I always said that I was not happy getting have Brown over Bozak. I don't know about that. I think Brown started off really hot. He has fallen off of late. Right. And he has played confused as of late. And I've seen that. Sonny wasn't a D-man, but he acted as one on the penalty kill. Right? That's the difference. He would help that penalty kill. He could take over for a D-man in that position.
Hey, guys, real quick.
Yes.
I mean, this may not be as big a deal for you, Guy, but I just want to get your guys' opinions on something. Is it just me, or are these 8:30 starts bull crap? I'm telling you, this is complete bull crap.
Okay, I did. Well, I'm going to say this. I completely disagree because.
Well, I know that's why I was saying it might not be the best sample size for you, Guy, but I'm telling you right now.
But I think everybody again surface. Why do we have to play at 8:30? That's not fair to us. Okay. Hey, the purpose of us playing. Hold on. There's an undercurrent here. And if you remember, there was a while back, all 4 playoff games used to happen at the same time.
That is true.
Right? And people would complain that you couldn't watch the games. So then NBC staggered them. Well, to stagger them, you have to start at 8:30. You start one game at 7, the other games start at 6, right? 7 or what is it? 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, which is 6 o'clock Central Time, and then the other game starts at 8:30. The Central Time Zone gets screwed a little bit, but 8:30 is not that bad. It's an hour and a half later. It's come on. If you can't stay up till 10:30, 11 o'clock on a work night, that's on you.
I'm always staying up that late. It's not, guys, just coming in from Michael Russo. He says that Scandella is on the top pair with Parayko right now with no Santini. Now it says it's game time decision, so it could change, but it's looking a little better.
Michael Russo pulled one today, and he got roasted on Blues Twitter.
Oh right? Yeah,
he got roasted. He put up a picture from his hotel, so I guess he's staying at the casino because that's where the picture looks like it's coming from, right? The Lumiere Casino, one of those hotels there. But he takes a picture of the dome, right, and says, "Nice football stadium."
Oh, jeez.
That's a bad troll. I mean, that was, and he was getting roasted. He was getting roasted by.
I'm going to tell you one thing. It's better than the old Viking stadium that fell apart with that asinine inflatable roof. And in my mind, I've been to the new Minnesota stadium, the outdoor, and I'm sorry, I'd rather have an indoor stadium in a cold city than an outdoor stadium. And I know it's all old time football and all this, but hey, he's going to make his remarks. It doesn't really matter. So,
Kevin, you're talking to a guy. You're talking to a guy that used to do this: get up at 4 o'clock in the morning for a watch, be up until midnight, and then turn around at 3:45 in the a.m., do it all over again.
Mm-hmm.
Now, look, I did that when I was in my 20s and 30s, but that was a standard. That was standard. I went for by the end of the week, because it usually was a week rotation. By the end of the week, I was a zombie. But that's just what it is. That's just the way it is. Yeah. It is what it is, and I'm sorry. The East Coast games, they're not going to start them later.
No,
they're not going to start an East Coast game at 8:30.
No, they're not. And Guy, it's like I tell people, if you got to go to bed at 10 and the game's still on, get your phone and listen to it as you fall asleep. You still get to listen to the game or watch it on an app. It's like Guy said, I understand people have to work early in the morning, but if you love hockey, and there's nothing wrong if you do go to sleep, but if you love hockey, you're going to stay up that extra hour. You just are.
I'm not in Central Time. Yeah. Hold on. I'm not in Central Time.
No, he's not.
I'm in Hawaii Standard Time, so it's 3:20 right now.
Yeah, he's 5 hours behind us.
Yeah, I'm 5 hours behind St. Louis, 6 hours behind
New York.
So New York. So if you want to talk about games interrupting, if I had a regular job, I wouldn't be able to watch any of the games.
Nope.
I'd still be at work.
Oh, I think it was who was that for Boston?
I didn't see. Mine went to commercial.
Was it Bergeron? Oh, it might have been Hall. I think it might have been Hall. Yeah.
For what?
For Juan. On the pop.
Right. Doesn't matter to me. My ass is staying up and watching. Well, I'm with you, Tammy.
Well, and for me, it's like I don't have a sleep schedule anyway. I'm
Yeah.
just whenever, because I mean, especially when I'm on call, you don't have a sleep schedule. You just sleep
Yeah.
when you can, because like there'll be times where I'll be able to sleep all night, but then there'll be times where I'm up from midnight all the way up to like 3 in the afternoon the next day. It just depends.
When I worked in the shipyard, like I worked in the shipyard for the 2011 World Series, right? I basically didn't get to see that World Series at all. I mean, I listened to it. I didn't get to watch it. I listened to it. But it is what it is. You're sitting there. I'm sorry. I like the fact now that you can watch almost all the playoff games. They're on double channels. Most people have more than one TV in the house. I've got really three set up here, right? I have the TV. So what you're looking at, so what I'm looking at is a 43-inch TV or something like that. That's my main TV that I use to stream on. I could put a game on that through the internet. I have another smaller TV over here that has the game on through my cable box. And then I have a laptop sitting in front of me that I could put it on. I'm sorry. I mean, I would rather have a chance of watching all games than watching one.
And I see where you're coming from. I still think it wouldn't be nice if it was a little closer though. At least for me, it would. I think everybody else agrees as well.
Right? No, I mean, most people don't like it, but it is what it is.
I mean, I think everybody, that's just a small gripe. It's nothing to be like die on a hill for,
No, they're gonna, when you have it like this, you're gonna have that until you get to the conference finals when it's only 2 games and they're every other night, right? You're gonna get this.
Well, I think even next round, right? It'll be, because they're only going to be 2.
It'll be the same thing in the next round. It'll be the same thing. You'll still have 2 games. Well, you'll have 2 games a night, so you'll have one early, one late.
That's what I mean, because there's only going to be 4 series going on, so there's probably only going to need 2 channels for each of those teams.
But you're going to have one early, you're going to have one late. They're not both going to start at the same time. They're not. And especially with the having a West Coast team in it, right? You're going to have some West Coast team. One of the West Coast teams is getting in. You have LA and Calgary, right? Or no, LA and
Oilers.
Well, you have the Calgary and the Oilers are Mountain. They're later. Colorado is later, right?
Speaking of
the only Central Time Zone teams are St. Louis, Nashville, Dallas, and Minnesota.
Yeah. Well,
and Nashville's just barely Central Time Zone. So
yeah, I don't hardly count Nashville.
So it looks like Scanman is playing. That's a good thing.
That's
Scandell is playing. I just hope he's more than 80%. Right? I hope he's more than 80%, and I hope that he's and we can't afford to lose another defenseman tonight. So that's important. It doesn't mean don't block shots. It means be aware of how you're blocking shots. Right? I really do think that you need to be aware of how you're blocking shots. Looks like the game could be. I still think the game's about 15 to 20 minutes away. So we'll keep on going for a little bit until I know we're closer to puck drop. I'm not sure what's going on in the other games here. Let me take a real quick an update just to make sure.
So we should talk about some of the other series as well going on. So
yeah, we'll do that here real quick. So currently the Bruins are about to make a series out of this. Again, this is one where it's not a series till the home team loses, and the home team's going to win this one. Or it looks like it's going to win. They're up 4-1 with 13:35 to go. Toronto flipping, same script. Tampa won the first home game in Toronto, and now Toronto at the end of the second is up 3-1 on Tampa Bay. Could change, but that's where they're at. The Oilers will play the Kings at 10 p.m. tonight, Eastern time, 9 p.m. Central time. See, they're lucky because they can have that 7:00 game, right?
Yeah.
Or 8:00 game. I think there are 2 hours, so 8:00 game. No, it's 3 hours. 7:00 game. So, but the Central gets screwed a little bit,
Yeah.
But that is what it is. It's not going to change. It's not going to change.
So who do you got for that one? You think Oilers at home? I mean, you think LA at home or Oilers away?
So far this one's kind of it's 1-1, right?
Yeah, I'm talking about this game though. Who do you got for Game 3? I know who I'm picking. I just want to see who you guys think.
Game 3, I think I think that it's going to be the same thing. I think the away team's going to win. The Oilers are going to win because the Kings took that first game in Edmonton and kind of spoiled them. Edmonton had a big win though in the last game, so I see it being a very close, low-scoring game. Actually,
I thought Oilers as well. I think Oilers probably take.
Not sure who this is. Let me find out real quick.
Oh, it's my second account.
Yeah, I could see that.
No.
Right.
No, Scandell was good. He was a good defenseman in Minnesota too. I think we had to let him go for cap issue.
Okay. This is one of your boys, Trexon Knowles. He's a Minnesota fan.
Oh,
Trexon.
Right.
Yeah, he's a Minnesota fan. He lets it be known.
Well,
right?
if not for the fact that Suter and Parisi were making so much money, if not for that fact, they probably would have kept Scandella in Minnesota. They just didn't have the money to keep him.
He's a guy that's like, I think his best role is top 6, but he can play top 4 just fine. He's just that kind of guy. He can just slot in, and he doesn't make too many terrible mistakes. He's just a solid all-around guy that just does what he needs to do.
You ask Ashley. According to Ashley, he makes a lot of mistakes.
Yeah, well, because she hyper focuses on the mistakes.
Hey, Tammy, you still got about 15 minutes before the game comes on. You still got a long time to go, but if you're willing to go, that's fine. We appreciate you. Hey, let me say a big thank you to Travis Farron, Tammy Pemberton, Daryl Klunk, and Dan Bichetta for putting that thumbs up on Facebook. We really, really, really appreciate it. It's great. We love you. And to anybody else that does it, and if you do it on YouTube, because I know I've got like 10 YouTube watchers today. I have more YouTube watchers than anything else. So thank you so much for watching on YouTube. We really appreciate your comments and doing that. Yes, you have been nicer lately, but your anti-Scandella it's just been so bad that no matter how nice you are now, it's not going away.
Ashley dislikes Scandella more than Reagan disliked Gorbachev. So
you just said you didn't like his face. That is a reason why you don't like him. I mean, you can't. There's almost no coming back from that. I don't like your face.
Yeah. That's a hard one. As long as I don't have to claim he's good looking.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, I know. That's great. I am excited for this matchup, period, right? This is not going to be a short series. I don't think it's going 5. It could go 6. It more than likely is going 7. Game 6 being in St. Louis is not good for Minnesota, to be honest with you, right?
I think it depends on if the Wild are able to steal one of these next 2 games here.
Yeah, that's the only way, right?
I think that's a good indicator.
Right. It's basically just going to come down to tonight, simply this: who's hurt and who wants it more, right? Who's hurt and who wants it more? And if the Blues can get over some of these injuries and play the type of game that they know how to play, I said this, and I still believe this, the Blues all around are a better team than Minnesota. I think the only area that they're better than us is goaltending, and that's still suspect. Nathan Myers, hey, I hope you all are good. So hyped up in here. Let's go. Let's roll. Let's go Blues, my friend. Let's go Blues. Here, I'll give a little something for you, buddy. Let's try this.
Let's go Blues.
Let's go Blues.
Who are you, Blues fan? We're bleeding blue with you. Let's go Blues. Let's go Blues. Let's go Blues. Who are you, Blues fan?
I can't wait till Alex, the younger son, gets a little bit older so he can get in there and they can redo it. That's going to be a lot of fun. Yes, sir.
Almost just chucked my phone across the room. Gee whiz.
Why? Why would you chuck your phone across the room?
Get out of here.
All right. Somebody's at the game. I know. Who's at the game? Chris is at the game, and I can't think of his last name right now. I mess it up all the time. The Warrior, my Warrior buddy, the guy I got on the Warrior.
Shockley?
Huh?
Chris Shockley?
Yeah, Shockley's at the game. Right? Shockey's at the game. Right? Well, it looks like, they're getting close. I don't think they've sung the anthems yet, so we'll do. Sod is dreamy, though.
I mean,
Okay, I have a question real quick, and this is going to get a lot of people ticked off. Shock, shock. I'm going to say something that gets people ticked off. Why is it a woman can say a hockey player's hot and he's this, he's that, and you just go on, and it shows that a lot of women watch hockey because they're just looking at the guy's good looks. The moment a man says one of the female hockey players is hot, they're sexist. You can't have it both ways, ladies. It's one way or the other.
Lance, I'm going to tell you this. There's one thing that I have learned. We live in a one-way society. It's going to go one way whether you like it or not. You can think that it shouldn't, but it does, and it always is. So you get away with what you get away with, right? And that's the way I feel. Jeff Mullen agrees with you there.
Thank you.
Tammy says, I don't think that.
Thank you.
Well, a lot do. I don't think you're a sexist for saying someone is good looking. You know what? Go out during well, here's my issue. It's not that you say they're good looking. It's when you make comments such as somebody, a big fan of the show has said before. And I mean, it's one of the few times I've ever had to mute somebody. Women shouldn't call hockey games, should stay in the kitchen. At that point, and no, I did not say that. I did not say that. So I don't want anybody thinking that I said that.
He's quoting.
I'm quoting, but that's the kind of stuff that we have to deal with.
I should say paraphrasing.
Paraphrasing, yeah. Well, actually, that was almost a dead on quote. Right? And I love the guy who said it. He's a great friend of mine, but, there's some people that just think the way they're going to think. And here's the thing about that. Free country. That's why we have the First Amendment. That's why we have the First Amendment. That's why, see, I read something, and I don't get political, but I'm going to get kind of political. I read something on, and I won't say who it was from or anything like that. I read something from one of the news medias. There was a guy, a trash guy, that found a flag. Somebody threw away a flag. He took it out and he folded it, and then he did whatever with after it. He called it rescuing the flags, and then said, "Well, I served in the Army for 4 years to protect that flag." And I immediately went, "No, you didn't," because I served for 20 years, and not one time did I ever say an oath that had the word flag in it. I mean, I can almost repeat the oath of enlistment verbatim, but it goes, "I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America against all enemies, foreign and domestic." And you can't find the word flag in the Constitution anywhere. That's how I feel about it. Scandella can't outlet. This has got to be Trexan again. Scandella can't outlet pass, can't get his awesome shot through, so it makes little difference if it's good. Awesome skater for such a big man. Scandella is the pinnacle player who never reached his potential.
I think he reaches. I've been watching him since he came into the league. He's reached his potential. He is what he is, and that's just it. Scandella was never supposed to be the top pairing all-star defenseman. I remember. I
kind of see where he might be trolling him partially as well, but I can kind of see where he's coming from. Because I think the Wild did have that hope for him, because he looked like he might be at that some point in the league. But he is what he is, and he does what he does just fine. Yeah, and he does have a great shot. And
he's sure a lot better than Sanford was.
Well, do you remember? You probably don't, but I remember this. It was I think the Wild were playing the Rangers. I don't remember if it was Lundqvist or if it was Ronta, but he slapped the puck, and it was right center in the forehead. They had taken the goalie out.
Yep.
They knocked the mask off, right?
Yeah.
That was Lundqvist. I think that was Lundqvist.
Yeah.
But yeah, he has a really hard shot. One of those guys.
So Husso against Fleury. Husso's got a 2.52 in this series. Well, this series, Fleury has a 3.0. So that tells you something. I don't know. I think that this is, tonight might be the defensive game, and we're going to see who can win a defensive game, right? That's how I feel. I really do feel that tonight is going to be that defensive game.
I think
after
tonight the mistakes are going to get amplified.
Yeah,
you'll know who's making mistakes.
Tonight could be a defensive game, and the other question is, how much does the crowd pump up the Blues? Right? Exactly. Really, how much does the crowd pump up the Blues?
People also underestimate last change. Matchups are important. Whether you believe whatever you think about how good your lines are, matchups are very, very important. So, and
Well,
this
yeah,
Blues have last change. They get to dictate who plays who. So,
well, I mean, that's might have what helped the Wild in the second game because they did flip up the matchups, right, in the second game. So I know that. Let's just see how the guys play tonight. Game is almost on. We're going to go ahead and call the show here. I need the Bruins to win up 4-2. I thought that would go 6, and I still think it'll go 6. I really do.
I think they take both in Boston. If I'm being honest.
Say again.
I think the Bruins can take both in Boston. I was.
I do too.
I think this is supposed to go.
I think this is other than the series that are down 0-2 are the ones that do concern me. Oh, Lance must not have been feeling good. Sorry, Lance, bud. But other than the series that are down 0-2, I see all of these being 4-4 after being 4-4. Really, to be honest with you,
I'd be surprised if somebody goes up 3-1. That's not.
Yeah. Well, since Lance isn't feeling good and you're on call, I'll let you have a. Are you on call tonight?
I am.
Okay. Well,
hopefully I'll be on call till Monday, so I'm on all weekend.
Yeah. Well, hopefully Minnesotans decide to take it easy tonight and no shootings, no dumb shit. They're all watching the hockey game.
Hours. Just 3 hours is all we're asking here.
Well, wait till Sunday. You've got it during the prime of the dumb fuck hour, right?
Mm-hmm.
3:30 in the afternoon. Is that not like the prime of when the dumb shit happens?
Well, this time of year now is when the calls are starting to ramp up because people are starting to go out in their boats more and things like that. Or March, I hate using this. I'm not superstitious, but it just seems whenever you say the S word, something happens. So or Q for quiet, whatever. It's too late already. But it was during March is kind of that time where it's a little bit slower, right? Yeah. And then now is when it's starting to ramp up, where everybody's getting out in their boats and shooting things, and it's a wacko out here. But we'll get through it.
Okay, bud. Well, you have a great one. I'll see you at the intermission.
Sounds good.
Have a good night, my friend. See you. Enjoy the first period. Aloha, everybody. And this is for my buddy.
What are you wearing?
A Canadian tuxedo. And I'm a hockey player. Let's go Blues.